Hi, I'm Varun Haran. I'm Senior Editor with Information Security Media Group. I have the pleasure today of speaking with Sumedh Thakar, who is the Chief Product Officer for Quellies. And we're going to be talking about transparent orchestration. What is it? Why is it relevant? And how can organizations achieve it? Hi, Sumedh. Thanks for joining me.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
So, Sumedh, what is transparent orchestration? Why is it relevant to organizations today?
So it's a very interesting approach towards security, which is something that is starting to come up more and more. And the idea of transparent orchestration is that you want to take security out of or security products out of being secure. So the idea is that building whatever you need from a security perspective upfront in the IT cycle and making it so that the end users don't really have to see or worry about the security products, rather than today's approach, which is more security is added after the fact once IT has done all of their work. And so the idea that transparently you can get security into the IT infrastructure is something that is really new and interesting, and something that digital transformation is enabling that concept more and more.
Sure. So built-in security rather than
Bolted on, yeah.
Right. But what are some of the obvious challenges here, and how do you go about achieving this? Does DevOps play a role in this?
Yeah, that's actually something that is critical, in fact, DevOps for transparent orchestration, because it's quite hard to secure or kind of have transparent orchestration in the existing or old infrastructure that we have had, because it has been built in a way that it has never thought about security. So it has always been something that the the IT products have been built, and then the security has been thought after the fact. So if you want to have transparent orchestration, you really need to rewrite or re-architect pretty much all of your IT infrastructure so that you can really get that security built in. And that is the role that DevOps really plays today, is that more and more development teams are the ones who are deciding how the applications are going to run in production environment, how they're going to be elastic, how security needs to be built in. So DevOps, DevSecOps, really that is what is driving this kind of rebuilding of the IT infrastructure, and then transparently orchestrating security into that infrastructure. So the silos, I think, that exist today in security organizations and IT organizations are the challenge, because of course they think of things the old way, and they are, of course, want to make sure that their jobs are secure.
Sure.
And so the desire to move into the newer infrastructure where security is built in upfront is something that doesn't come that naturally to the silos.
Right. So I asked this question to other experts as well when this particular topic comes up. Is that what you're talking? The central concept to that is security is not just the security organization's responsibility; it's everybody's responsibility.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So how do you incentivize, say, a developer to ensure that security is built in rather than bolted on at a later stage? How do you do that? What are some of the ways that that silo can be maybe broken down?
Yeah, I think one of the challenges that has been there for developers to be interested in security is always the fact that they have not had the right tools. Right, so developers love their tools. They want things that they can use command line, something that can be embedded in their code,
Sure.
not the traditional security products where you need big deployments and things have to be installed with multiple different agents and things like that. So, and at the end, when there is a security breach, no developer wants to be the one whose code at the end caused that breach. So they are, of course, interested in it, but then providing them the tools like plugins into the CI/CD pipeline, Jenkins, Kubernetes, things that they use on a day-to-day basis. If that security tooling can also be made fairly transparent to them, then they are definitely more incentivized, because they want to use it without having to spend too much time, so that their code becomes more secure.
Right. So, what are some recommendations perhaps that you can share for organizations that want to achieve transparent orchestration?
So the transparent orchestration really requires the digital transformation to be happening in the organization, and there needs buy-in from the topmost management, because what a lot of organizations are realizing now is that when they do that ROI study, they realize that trying to secure the old infrastructure with these disparate architectures that don't really talk to each other buying security products that have to be slapped on after the fact is extremely costly. They would rather take that money and actually rebuild, leveraging the latest technology, leveraging cloud containers, Kubernetes, Elasticsearch, Kafka, a lot of that new stuff, leveraging DevOps methodology. And so the recommendation is that make sure that security has a seat at the table right up front with the DevOps team so that they can influence and make sure that security gets built into the infrastructure, because once it goes out, then of course the security team is still responsible for managing and monitoring that infrastructure.
Sure. Quick question, quick response from you. We've been talking about this for a long time, security having a seat at the table. What is the one way that you can see that process getting accelerated?
I think it's really being pushed by the board at the end of the day today, right? Because money talks, and the breaches today are extremely expensive for organizations. And so what we are seeing is that there is buy-in from the top management to make sure that security and DevSecOps, and they are really forming new groups within the organization that can bring security and IT together, and I think that's really the future for us.
Great. Thanks, Sumedh, so much for talking to us.
Thank you, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So that was Sumedh Thakar, who is the Chief Product Officer for Quellies. For ISMG, this is Varun Haran. Thanks for watching.